everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin, or Hobbit's Reading List, and in this episode of A Newbie Reads Stephen King, I am reading The Body, which, Stand By Me, the movie that is based off of The Body that came out in like 1986, is my ultimate comfort movie, so I'm expecting to really enjoy this, and let's hope that I'm right. So as I mentioned, Stand By Me is my ultimate comfort movie. I watch it a lot. Usually when I'm sick or when I'm sad. But I really enjoy it. And the movie follows the book very closely. I guess book isn't an accurate term. The novella. But I'm going to say book because I have it in just like a slim volume by itself. But the movie follows the book very closely. So I'm able to picture scenes just like from the movie because the lines of dialogue are like almost exactly the same. So I'm enjoying that element. I have only so far read about 40 pages. So if you don't know what The Body is about, it is a novella following this group of friends that are 12, 13, and they go on, I don't know, a walking trip. It feels weird to call it a road trip, but a walking trip to find the body of a boy their age that has been missing, and they know that he has died. And so they're going to go find the body and call it in and get like all the positive attention that comes with that. The congratulations or the thanks. Gratitude was the word I wanted. Jeez. Yeah, they go together, and I don't know, it's just such a good story. It's such a good story. But what I have read so far is Vern coming to the treehouse to come tell the other guys about it, and they all make a plan of like how they're going to, you know, get there without their parents knowing until, you know, after they've reported it. And then we go into the short story within the novella, Stud City. So Stud City in this is presented as Gordy, who's the main character, wrote it in like 1970. I'm not positive when this book is set. I will put it up somewhere, but he's a little bit older at least. I want to say it's like 1950 something. So he's a decent amount older. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because Stud City, I kind of understand why it's in The Body, because we just read a section where, you know, Gordy is reflecting on the death of his older brother, Dennis. Dennis was, what, 22 when he died? Yeah, because he's 10 years older than Gordy. And so Gordy has, like, a lot of feelings. It's not quite like it's grief, but it's grief of, like, an acquaintance, because there was such an age gap between them. But in his exposition, he had, was reflecting on going to Dennis's room, and this image, this didn't actually happen, but, like, this image in Gordy's head of, like, Dennis, like, coming out of the closet and, like, his, you know, half his face being caved in and saying that Gordy, you know, shouldn't be in his room, will never be as good as Dennis, that sort of stuff. And then in Stud City, it's about a guy, he's with a girl, but he's reflecting on his brother who had died recently. They worked at like a motorway or something, and the brother was changing tires, and was it Jimmy? I think Jimmy is his name. My memory is great. Jimmy was changing tires, and a car crashed into him, and there was a big explosion, and Jimmy died. And in Stud City, there was a scene of Chico, the main character, although his name is Eddie, sort of looking at Jimmy's old car and sees an image of Jimmy all burned and you know, decaying and everything, from saying that, you know, not to touch his car, it's his, that sort of stuff. So I'm like, I can see the parallels, but other than that, I don't understand why this short story was in there. It didn't bring anything to the book. So yeah, it didn't add anything. That's about it. That's my thought. So, but I also know, I I think Stud City, which my dad had warned me about, he's like, you can just skip it. And I was like, no, I can't skip it. Especially if you're telling me skip it, that means I'll have a lot to talk about. But I know there's Stud City, and then there's The Revenge Story, which I don't remember if it has a title. I mean, it does, but I don't remember what the title is. Besides those two, I don't know if there are any other short stories in the novella. I have to imagine not. But I know the Revenge Story is much better. So yeah, there's that. I am getting ready to go to Michigan. I'm bringing the body with me. I'm hoping that I will be able to finish it, which I should, because it's only 180 pages. So I will check in once I have read more. Okay, so I'm in Michigan on a writing retreat, and I just spent about the last like 45-50 minutes reading The Body. I read probably like 45 pages or so. I'm not doing the actual math. And so I wanted to film a quick clip before I went to bed. Where we are in the story, they just were crossing the bridge over the Castle River and the train came. And so I just finished a section where, like, you know, Vern and Gordy are like running across the train, and they jump and they do a train dodge unintentionally. They don't want to do it. I am still picturing the movie very vividly, but I'm also able to, obviously, the changes that have been made, and I can understand why they were made, but I'm enjoying the book just as much as I thought I was going to, just because, I don't know, there's something so comforting about it, which, like, it shouldn't be. Like, Vern even says, like, I don't think this should be a good time. We're going to see a dead boy's body. And it's like, yeah, you're right. And it probably shouldn't be a comfort read for me either, but it is. I don't know. It's weird. So, up until this point, you know, they started on the trip. They walked, they went to the dump. Oh, Gordy and Teddy almost got in a fight because Gordy didn't let him, you know, do a train dodge. We met Milo and Chopper, and, you know, Teddy had, you know, broken down about his dad, and Gordy has a line in there about like watching Teddy cry about his dad, who, like, had almost killed Teddy when he was a toddler, where Gordy can't bring himself to have any feeling in any direction for his dad. And so it's just like, it was just interesting to read about, like, just the differences of how these kids look at their parents, because Gordy, Teddy, and Chris have, like, pretty messed up home lives. I think Vern's is mostly fine. Like, he has a very antagonistic relationship with his older brother, but, like, I haven't seen anything about his parents, and I also don't remember anything about his parents specifically. But, like, Teddy's dad, like, burned both his ears on the stove when he was a toddler. Chris's dad is an alcoholic and regularly beats him up. And then Gordy's parents, you know, had him a little bit later in life and pretty much ignored him, like, his entire life, because his older brother Denny, who was 10 years older, was so amazing that Gordy just can't measure up. And so it's just like, it's just so interesting, like, the different routes that they go down when they're thinking about their parents, their dads, despite the fact that, like, their home lives are not great. So it's just, I don't know, it's just really interesting to read about and to sort of analyze and consider. But that's pretty much the only thing I was thinking about. And then, of course, there's the line about how, you know, an older, the story is presented as, like, an older Gordy is, like, writing it. And there's a line in there about how you never have the same friendships as you do as the friends you had when you were 12. And I like highlighted that section because I'm like, that's absolutely true. Like, I still remember who were like my closest friends when I was 12 and the bullshit we got up to. And I still think about them fondly, even though I don't talk to any of them anymore, which sucks. But, you know, that's life. But yeah, it's just, I think that's why, because this book is so full of just these like nostalgic moments that remind me of like when I was 12 and like things were a lot easier. But it's also just like fun but serious. So yeah, I don't know. It's just making me feel a lot of things and think about a lot of things, which is great. I think that's what books are supposed to do. But all right, those are my thoughts. This position is getting uncomfortable, so I'm gonna go and I will check in when I read some more. I have finished The Body. It took me way too long. I have had stuff going on. I've been very stressed. The stress is not going to stop, but at least I have finished The Body now, so I don't have to feel so kind of ashamed of myself of like how long it's taken. It's taken what? Over 2 weeks. That's crazy. Anyway, so I'll just say it off the bat. And I think I said at the beginning of the video. I love this book. Like, I'm giving it 5 stars again. That's not surprising. It's so good. And there's so many lines from it that really show why it's so good. I don't know, like, obviously part of it is because it's Stephen King, right? But another part of it is just like, because it's this coming of age, very nostalgia book that like I think really exemplifies like how it feels to be 12 and getting ready to go into middle school or go into junior high or whatever you call it where you're from, and how things change, right? Like, to me it's like all theoretical because like I changed schools a lot growing up. My dad was in the military, so I moved a bit. But I do remember this sense of like going from elementary school to middle school and just like how different it was. It was just so like, I don't know. It felt like the world was opening up. And I think The Body kind of shows that, right? Where like these kids are, you know, very aware that like, well, maybe not all of them. Chris and Gordy are very aware that things are going to change in middle school. But with the added layer of, you know, going to find this body, the world opens up for them even more. And of course, like reading about what happened to the other 3 boys, it just sucks so much. The one that always gets me, especially because I watch Stand By Me so much, like the one that always gets me is of course Chris, just because he had so much potential and he did it all himself. Yeah, it's so upsetting. Like, I honestly, like, my dad was saying a while ago when I first started reading it again that, you know, the biggest change from the book to the movie was that only Chris dies in the movie. Which is true, obviously. But I guess, to me, like, it doesn't matter. Like, obviously, Vern and Teddy are, you know, obviously part of the reason that I love Stand By Me so much, but if I found out that they had died as well, I don't I don't know that I would care any more than I already do. Like, for me, the main impact is Chris. Especially because Chris and Gordy managed to maintain their friendship for a bit longer. So, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's just so... It's so weird thinking that this is, like, my comfort... Like, Stand By Me is my comfort movie. And then reading The Body, and I'm like... This shouldn't be comforting. You know? And I may have said this a while ago. I don't remember it because this video has been going on forever. But, like, you know, just like Gordy's like, you know, this shouldn't be fun. Was it Gordy or was it Fern? Someone pointed out that, like, going to look for the body shouldn't be fun. And I'm like, yeah, it probably shouldn't be comforting either. I don't know. I really enjoyed The Body. I highly recommend it for anyone who wants, like, an easy entry into Stephen King, almost. Like, if you're hesitant and you want, like, a short entry, like a novella, like, I would definitely recommend starting with The Body, just because honestly, I think that's where I started. I don't know if I read Stephen King before I read The Body. And I intentionally chose The Body because I had seen Stand By Me and I loved it so much, and so I wanted to read the story that it was based off of. So, yeah, it was just so good. It was so good. Alright, so that's the end of this video. Finally. Oh, God. So, next on my Stephen King journey is wildly different, at least in terms of size. I will be reading Insomnia. I'm predicting I will have, obviously, a lot more thoughts because there's a lot more material. But this Insomnia is the first novel of Stephen King that I'm reading in probably like 2.5 years. And so there will be a lot more for me to dissent with. But I am hopeful that I will still enjoy it. So make sure that you subscribe, click the notification bell so that you're notified when I upload that video. And leave me a comment. Let me know if you love The Body as much as I do. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.